Hello, I'm going to be doing Cassandra's natal birth chart right now. And let's start from the beginning. Okay, so here we have Neptune in the ninth house. And this is the house of religion. And this is the house of higher learning. So this is a person who really loves to learn about new things and has a sort of a mysticism about them. When it comes to God and religion, they see God and religion in the place of like heaven. Like they believe in life after death. They believe in heaven. They see their relationship with God is like in a very high place. Maybe even people don't understand. It's a very faith-filled place, and it's a place of just like mysticism, where it's like very sacred. It's a very sacred to them and very personal. And so this is Neptune. And so Neptune, this is a wonderful place for Neptune as it is in the place of God. And so it also means that sometimes it rules dreams too. We may dream about in this placement religious figures or have religious dreams. Okay, and so here we have our midheaven. That's our career in Sagittarius. So the midheaven in Sagittarius also, Sagittarius as we know is higher learning and it is religion. This person also it rules like finances and things like that. So this person could be good in finances, could be good in medicine, could be good having a career where they travel, also a spiritual career, and also a career like a nurse, a doctor, a teacher, a counselor, anything like that, and also finances. So here we have the moon in the 12th house. Now the 12th house is one of the houses of the soul. So the houses of the soul are the 4th, the 8th, and the 12th. And the 12th house is known as the most psychic house, and it's the deepest of the houses. So the moon here rules, the 12th house rules its past lives, and it rules basically empath, like the sensitivity to the world, the collective unconscious. It rules mental illness, prisons, it rules past lives, it rules empath, psychic abilities, it rules, it's the most sensitive psychic house. So to have the moon here, and the moon as we know is the planet of emotions, the moon also rules the mother. So the 12th house is the place of utero, where we are, when we are in our mother's womb. So it says that here with the moon is in Aquarius in the 12th house. So it says that, and this is the house of addictions too. So there might have been addictions going on with the mother, but also there was a lot of sensitivity going on at the time. And this moon felt that sensitivity. And so with the moon in the 12th house, they say that the moon, the baby almost didn't even want to come out because of all of the sensitivity that she was experiencing during the time in the mother's womb. And so this person is, to have this placement, as such a sensitive placement, this basically means that this person needs to retreat sometimes. They need to get away from others and they need to have time alone to capture their mental health. So basically that would be like a spa would be a great time, a vacation, a a walk in the forest and nature, anything where this person can get away, to a trip to the ocean, and basically heal all the sensitivity that they feel close to others. So this person picks up on the energy of other people with this placement, extremely sensitive, empathic to others, and they're like a magnet to the energy. They walk into the room and they can feel other people's energy, and so other people really, and that would be hard. Other people can't hide their energy to this person. This person can pick up on this energy very, very easily. It's a very psychic placement. This person can have very psychic dreams, extremely sensitive, extremely empathic to the energy, not only of other people, but animals, what's going on in the world. I mean, just everything. Okay, so here we have the ascendant. The ascendant is also in Aquarius. So this person, basically, when this is the self-image. So when this person meets somebody, this is how they come across with this rising sign of Aquarius, which is independent. So this person comes across as a very independent person. And also, I would like to go back to the moon with both of these Aquarius. Aquarius also rules, Uranus is the planet which rules the nervous system. So there, and with two placements of Aquarius, this person could have anxiety and dealt with anxiety and needs to retreat sometimes to capture their health, their mental health. And so here we have the East Point. The East Point is another rising sign, and so that's also it's a smaller rising sign in the planet of Aquarius. So this person really comes across as a very independent person, and also they may come across having ideas that are like forward thinking outside the box. They have good ideas. They think about the future, but they could almost see like that this is going to be a trend in the future, and they have some great ideas to share. So that would be great in like when you do like an interview, a job interview, that sort of thing. Okay, so here we have the first house. So we know the first house rules our self-image. It also rules our childhood. And so here we have the black moon Lilith in the first house. And so this is in the sign of Pisces. And so the black moon Lilith is basically everybody has it somewhere here. And the black moon Lilith is the opposite of Pluto. So Pluto kind of represents the male essence, but this represents the female essence of Pluto. It's basically our shame and where we got our shame in life, where the shame came from. But it's also can be our power as well, because we grow from that. And so the shame came from self-image, identity. This is a house of identity. So this person may have not known their identity as a child. It might have been meshed with this Pisces, with everything around them, what was going on. And so this person had a hard time, where do I end and you begin? That's the kind of household they grew up in. But with the black moon Lilith in the self-image and in the house of identity, this person also grows into a very like goddess when they're older. This is a person who has amazing looks, and they like stop traffic, and they're actually, this is known as a placement for a woman, that they are naturally a very alluring, sexy person. And it can provoke jealousy in other women, so they might have experienced that, but this person may have not understood why, because it's just they're alluring and they're good, their good looks and everything. It was just there. They didn't really, and they actually might have known, because with this placement, this person usually knows that they are a goddess when it comes to their, when they get older. They know that they're stopping traffic. They know that they get a lot of attention from the opposite sex, and they know how to carry themselves when it comes to clothes and looks and everything. So this person is a goddess, and it could actually attract jealousy from other women, because they may not have that sexiness. They may not have that alluring ability, but also from men see this woman. She's alluring. She's naturally that way. But also they say this placement is, it also shows a relationship with the father as being very controlling over this person, as being, they don't like that they've grown into this sexy person, and they don't like that when they see that they have an opposite, fella, and they might be say, well, they're gonna, they might shame this person because they grew into like a alluring, sexy woman, but it wasn't their fault. That's just a natural thing. But fathers are like that with their daughters, right? They sort of want to control them and keep them close, and especially they don't like if their daughters grow up to become, sexy and beautiful, and like a goddess, if their relationship is unhealthy, then the father could also be jealous of that. Okay, and so here we have Chiron, and Chiron is also in the first house. So Chiron always shows up next to the Black Moon Lilith, and it promises healing, healing from wounds of identity as a child. And it also says that, you will actually own this when you get older. You will own this Black Moon Lilith. You will own your identity. You will own your goddess and your good looks and your sex appeal. You're going to own your identity. And so this person may actually, they say this person is somebody who speaks their mind, and they don't care what other people think. So that's what they do. And so here we have Saturn in the first house. And so Saturn in the first house says, that there was some dysfunction in the childhood. That's a sign that there was difficulty in childhood. And and Saturn always gets easier as we get older. We become wiser through our experiences. And so here we have Pallas, and Pallas rules politics. It's interesting because politics are in the second house of finances. So whatever is politically related, there could be financial arrangements made with this. When it comes to careers in politics, even people speaking politically to each other, there's politics involved. There could be like a good relationship with others that could manifest into money with politics in the house of finances. And so here we have Venus, and Venus is in the third house of Gemini. And Gemini rules communication. It rules Gemini is a very intelligent sign, and so this shows that with Venus in the third house of communication, this person, when they talk, it's important for them to have loving communication. It's important for them to have loving communication. They try really hard to have loving communication. And here it's interesting because we have Juno. And so Juno is in the house of the third house too. It represents our marriage. And so this is in the third house of communication. So this person had good communication with their husband. And communication is very important in this person's marriage. It's actually a very helpful tool because it's in the house of marriage. So that's really interesting. And so also we have, let's see, what else do we have? Vesta, and Vesta is here, and that's the harvest in the third house. So that means that this person will have harvest in the third house of Gemini, in the house of communication, in the house of Gemini. So they will harvest when it comes to communication. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then their north node is in the third house too, of how interesting, of Gemini. So the north node is our destiny. So our destiny, that's so interesting because our destiny, our north node is our destiny. So there's a destiny here with communication in the house of Gemini. So whatever, like this is a stellium, means there's a lot of activity in this house, 1, 2, 3, 4 planets. And so there's a lot of activity in communication. So this could be really important in this person's life for really important in this person's life when it comes to career, and also just a great communicator. They can communicate about anything to anyone. It's actually a really strong gift of this person. This person may be very aware that they have this gift. It's a great gift to have. And with North Node, that means a destiny. So when the North Node is in the third house, the South Node, so the North Node is in Taurus, so that means that this person, stability is very important with this person, peace and harmony. This is very important with this person, and to have positive communication, and also to remind themselves to speak positively. So North Node in Taurus says peace and harmony, and so the past life is always the opposite house. So the third house, that would be the ninth house of Sagittarius. So the ninth house, where the South Node is, it lands in the ninth house, says this is themes of your past life. So we know that when the North Node is in Taurus, the South Node is in Scorpio in the ninth house. So Scorpio rules birth, death, endings, transformation. So there were themes related to the sign of Sagittarius: higher learning, religion, travel, and maybe even the sign of Sagittarius. So there were harsh themes in the ninth house. And so this is why this person needs peace and harmony, because there were harsh themes in the ninth house of religion and travel and this sort of thing. And there might even be like a place you go to or some place that you're intrigued with that you feel past life themes, feelings that you've been there before. And there might be a Sagittarius where there was a past life thing. But Scorpio in the South Node says that there were harsh themes in the past life, and that's why you need stability and peace in this life. And right here with the North Node. So here in the fourth house of home, mother, the home, and the mother, you've got Mars. So Mars in the fourth house in the home says, this is your fighting spirit. This is your energy. This is your drive. So in the home, you have the energy and the drive to get things done in your home, to make a family. Your energy and your drive are always going to be there. But because Mars is our fighting spirit, where it lands says this is where we have to be careful of our fighting spirit. That's in the home. Having fights in the home. But it also says in the house of the mother, there might have been fights in the home and arguments in the home. So it's telling of the home life of this person, how they grew up. There was fighting in the home. And so you also, but the mother also had that, where she had the energy and the drive to continue to keep the home going. But it's our fighting spirit. And so be careful of the fights in the home. And so you have the sun in Gemini in the fourth house of the home. So that promises that there will be luck. It's in the Gemini in the home. There'll be communication in the home. And so this person, their home life will be successful. Their home life will be successful. Just watch the Mars next to the communication, because that says the communication can get a little dicey and harsh in a fight, in an argument, in the house of the home, and the mother. So it rules the mother. So this says how we were when we grew up. There might have been arguments at home. There might be arguments in your home now, sometimes with communication. But it also says with the sun in Gemini in the communication, there's also positive communication, and communication is a positive theme in your home. And so here we have Mercury in the fourth house. So Mercury says that that rules communication. So this person is very intelligent in the home. They're known as a very intelligent person, and there is a lot of communication in the home that you live in. And there also was probably a lot of communication when you grew up, for good or bad, but there might have been a lot of communication. But this person is expressive. They like to express themselves in their home. And so here we have the part of fortune. The part of fortune says how we can make our fortune. That's in the lucky fifth house. The fifth house is the house of creativity. It's the house of art. It's the house of small animals, dogs, cats, small wildlife. It's the house of gambling. It's the house of love affairs. So the part of fortune is a very lucky placement. So that means you could make a fortune when it comes to these themes, which are creativity, small animals, gambling is very lucky, and also love affairs. And so also with Jupiter in the fifth house of gambling, small animals, it means that small animals will be very lucky for you, extremely lucky for you in your life. You have a gift with small children to communicate, and you also may have an imagination like a small child, but this is the house of creativity, so that means that you could really make a fortune in this house of creativity, that you have amazing artistic skills that you need to be brought forward. And with the Jupiter in the fifth house, it says that, love affairs, you would be lucky with love affairs, and also with wealth and small animals and gambling. So this is a placement that says, your luck is on your side in Las Vegas. Luck is on your side with the lottery. And So here we have Vesta, that's our devotion to causes, and that's in the 6th house of everyday dealings, your the everyday grind, your work, just the things we do every day. So that means that in your everyday things that you do, work, you're devoted to them. So you don't just do them to do them. You actually have devotion in everything you do every day. There's a part of you that is just there in your everyday dealings, what you do, work, and also it rules health. So you might be concerned about your health when it comes to eating healthy, and you have a devotion to that, to eat healthy and to take care of yourself. So you have a devotion to that, a natural devotion to that. And so here we have the vertex. And the vertex is in the 7th house of partners. So as the 5th house is love affairs, the 7th house is marriage. So that here we are married. And vertex is fated encounters. So this is soulmates, fated encounters. So marriage partner, you may feel that this what is a soulmate, a fated encounter. Marriage partners come to you in a fated encounter. Partnerships come to you like fate. That's a very lucky. The vertex is lucky. It's fate. And so it's in the house of marriage and partnerships. And here we have Uranus in the house of marriage. And so with Uranus here, that says that you have to be independent in your marriage, that you have to be able to do what you want to do. And this is just really, really important to you, very important to you. You have to have your independence. And also, you have to be careful in your home because we know Uranus rules the nervous system. So you have to take care of your nervous system in your marriage. And so with Pluto here, and Pluto is 15 degrees, so this is in conjunction with each other. So Pluto in the house of marriage says that wherever Pluto lands, it says we're going to go through hell to obtain our heaven. But it promises heaven will come. You'll get there, but you're going to have to go through a lot to get there. And so this is in the house of marriage. And so, and then here we've got the anxiety next in conjunction with the Pluto. So independence important. Watch the anxiety in the marriage. And also, because also when Pluto says you're going to have to go through hell to obtain your heaven, even though it promises you will get there, you're going to have to go through a lot. So, in the house of marriage, you have to take care of yourself, really take care of yourself. And, you're supposed to be independent here. That's important. And so we'll go through it one more time. Neptune in the 9th house, that rules religion, higher learning. And so that means you have a very high place with God. That means that you are... Your religion is mystical. It's like you feel it deeply. Like some people don't believe in life after death. Some people can't see like heaven, or they don't see that, but you do. You see beyond this life. So you actually have a very high relationship with God, and it's very sacred, and it's very mystical too, because you see things beyond this life with God. And so your midheaven with Sagittarius promises that you would have luck with finances in your career, traveling, nurse, anything related to 9th house, as midheaven is in the 9th house, matters, higher learning. This also says a vocation of a spiritual teacher, a nun even, but definitely is traveling, career, finances, a nurse, doctor, anything like that, traveling, and higher learning. And so the moon in the 12th house, this is your placement of emotionalism. And so with the 12th house, this is actually the most emotional house. It is the house of just feeling the collective unconscious, and it's the house when we are in our mother's womb. So they say when the moon is in the 12th house, this baby was afraid to come out because of feeling just the sensitivity of the world and the collective unconscious. It's the house of addictions, mental illness, prisons, the collective unconscious, past karma, sensitivity, psychic abilities. So this is big on this moon. The moon is in Aquarius, so with mental illness, this could be anxiety. This person has to be careful of anxiety. This person needs to retreat sometimes to a spa, to any place, a vacation, a place where they can get their bearings again, and they need to be able to have these times to retreat from the world and to heal. It's almost like licking one's wounds. But this person is very sensitive to their energy. They can feel energy when they walk in a room, and they may not realize other people can't feel it. They're not as sensitive. But this person feels the energy of everyone. And so they say that you can close your third eye by just reaching up there in the middle of your forehead and pretending like that eye is closing, and then open it back up when you want to be more sensitive. But I think this is a very good placement, but it's also a placement that says this person is very sensitive. They do have anxiety with the nervous system. They have to watch all those things, but they have great psychic abilities as well, and very strong psychic abilities with the moon. Extremely strong psychic abilities. So this is somebody who's extremely sensitive to the collective unconscious, the energy, the beating of the planet, what's going on. They may even be able to look and see, they can see the future. They know what's going to happen. They have a very strong idea of trends, what's going to happen politically, economically, and they're probably a really great counselor to other people when they're in need. And this person needs to retreat sometimes. So pay attention to that energy. And so the ascendant is in Gemini, rising sign. So to the public, this person comes across as very intelligent, very articulate, and a great communicator. This is the east point. A smaller rising sign is in Gemini. So this is a great for, like I said, interviews and that sort of thing. So this person can probably get any job they want with that great Gemini. And also sometimes the Gemini could, this is an Aquarius, forgive me. This is an Aquarius. So they come across as very independent to the public. And they come across as very articulate, and also maybe they see things outside the box. They see future trends. So they can see future trends when it comes to business or how things are going to go in the business world in the future economically. They can see trends in the stock market, in the business world. So this is also really good for business. And the East Point is also in Aquarius. And so the Black Moon Lilith are shame. And this is they say she's the opposite of, she's the female of Pluto. And so that represents our shame wherever it lands. And so this lands in identity, the house of identity. And so this person may have not known their identity when they were a child, and maybe had identity issues when they were older, and maybe even self-image issues when they were a child. This placement says this person grew into a goddess, and a very alluring, sexy person. Might have made some females very jealous, but this person had these natural just very alluring, and attracted a lot of attention from the opposite sex. But also, women also notice this about you, that you were very alluring and sexy, and you know how to dress, and you know how to carry yourself. And so this says this, and this also says that this person may have had an issue with their father, that their father did not like when this person grew into this sexy, beautiful goddess, and they might have been controlling, and if unhealthy relationship, jealous when they saw this person getting opposite attention from the opposite sex. Because no matter what relationship you have with your father, fathers don't like to see their daughters grow into sexy, alluring, beautiful women. And so here we have Chiron, and Chiron is in Pisces, and that's the planet of healing, and it always goes right next to Lilith, and it promises healing comes from these identity issues. And they may, like, for instance, if a person has self-image issues as a child, they grow into a goddess when they get older, and beautiful and gorgeous and stopping traffic, and just like a lot of attention from the opposite sex. But they say that this person usually knows that they're a beautiful, sexy person, and they have that confidence about their looks, and they know that about themselves. And other women may also be jealous because they don't have that, or they didn't have that, they don't have that. And so Saturn is in the first house of childhood. That says there might have been a difficult childhood, and says there was a difficult childhood. And so Pallas in the second house of politics says this is finances, the house of finances. So that means that politics in some manner can bring finances to you. It could be like politics in the workplace, speaking politics. You know how to speak politics very well. You know a lot about politics, but something about the political world can bring you a lot of money. And so here we have Venus in the third house. And so that's the house of Gemini. So that rules communication. And so this means that loving communication from yourself and others is important to you. And so speak positively, and you want positive, loving communication back. But it says it is actually important to you to be a positive, loving communicator. And it's actually a sign of a very intelligent person. So you know how to speak positive and loving. You may, and if you don't, you probably feel a lot of guilt because your natural ability is to be positive and loving communicator. And so here we have Juno is in the house, the third house of Gemini, and this is a planet of marriage. So that means that communication is important in your marriage and has been important in your marriage. So it shows that you have good communication between you and your significant other, and that's probably, and this is actually, you're a good communicator. You're a great communicator when it comes to marriage, and you know how to communicate things in marriage in such a way that you can like fix things or solve problems in your marriage, that sort of thing. So your gift is loving communication, and you've also got that special marriage planet with communication. And so here we have Ceres. Ceres is the planet of the harvest. And so you have here the third house says that you will have a harvest with communication in the house of Gemini. So there will be a harvest here. And the north node is your destiny. And so that says that in the third house, there's a destiny here of communication in the house of Gemini. So there's a stellium, a lot of activity in the house of communication, all positive planets. And so here we have the north node. Your south node is straight up in the ninth house of Sagittarius. That's your past life. It's in the sign of Scorpio. And it says there were harsh aspects that happened in the ninth house in your past life. And the themes were ninth house related when it comes to higher learning, religion, traveling, that sort of thing. That's what the past life themes were. Something happened in the ninth house. There were harsh themes here. In the house of Sagittarius, but your south node is in Scorpio, and your north node is in Taurus, which says that you need stability and you need peace. And the reason why you need peace so much is because you did not have it in your past life. Your past life was not peaceful, and it had something to do with the ninth house that's ruled by Sagittarius. And so here you have in the house of the mother, there's the Mars. It says there might have been fighting in your home growing up. But it also says in your home now, there might be some arguing, and that's with communication. It could be harsh communication when you argue, and between both of you. So you need to be careful of that, because you actually prefer loving communication. And so you have to be careful. But the sun says, the sun is a planet of success. So it says there will be success in your home. There will be success. And it promises success in your home life, in your home, the home that you buy, and there will be success there. The only thing is the Mars, be careful, but it also is the planet of energy. So it gives us the energy to do our day-to-day things in your home. As it rules, it's in your home. And so here we have Mercury.